What's up guys, you're watching India Today Tech. I'm Rahul Sethi, and this video I'm going to unbox the Zenfone Max M2. It's the latest smartphone from ASUS. It's priced under 10,000 rupees and it's technically a successor to the Zenfone Max M1 that ASUS announced a few months back. But right now this phone has been launched alongside the Zenfone Max M1, and I've done the unboxing of this as well, so you might want to take a look at that. It's more premium and it's a successor to the Max Pro M1. But anyways, we'll take a look at all of the stuff about this phone in this video. Specs are mentioned at the back. There are two variants of this phone, one with 3 and 32 GB of RAM and storage, one and another with 4 and 64 GB of RAM and storage. Now the phone has a 6.3-inch HD Plus display, which is a bigger one compared to the Zenfone Max M1, which had a smaller screen of about 5.45 inches. Anyways, the box this time is also pretty attractive one, but I hope the phone as well is a better one compared to Zenfone Max M1. So this is the first box, and it's written "We love photo." And seriously, I was not really impressed by the Zenfone Max M1 cameras, but let's see what the Zenfone Max 2 M2 has in store. First thing, we have a SIM ejector tool, and there are a few documents. There's a warranty card information, and there's the user guide that you can read about the phone. There's also a cover bundle with the phone, and let me pull it out. It's a silicone case, bendable one. Next you get the phone itself, and it's written the phone comes with a Snapdragon 632 chipset. Alright, so now the Snapdragon 632 is very similar to the 625 because it's built on the 14nm process, but it says it's 40% faster, so we'll have to see that. But the battery is still 4000 mAh despite having a big display, so this could have been an improvement on the Max M2. I don't know why ASUS did not put a 5000 mAh battery. And this is the phone itself. Alright, so it looks exactly similar to the Zenfone Max Pro M1 that ASUS announced with stock Android interface for the first time, and the Max M2 looks pretty similar. It has a metal back plate, there's a fingerprint scanner, and the camera module is also very similarly done. You have plastic inserts on the top and the bottom, and in fact the body itself is fully plastic. Buttons are very tactile. You have a 3.5mm audio jack at the top with secondary microphone and a primary microphone at the bottom with micro USB port and a speaker grill. There's a slight change in the design at the bottom, and there's a 2.5D glass at the front with a notch at the top, but more or less the design is very similar to that of the Max Pro M1. Anyways, I've powered up the smartphone, and we'll quickly take a look at the other box contents, which is not much. You get a travel adapter with 10 watt of output rating and a micro USB cable, which is good in quality but not so long. Anyways, here are the full specs of the smartphone. Alright, so I've set up the smartphone, and you'll see the only major distinction to the smartphone's design appears to be the notch display. Although there are slight changes at the bottom, the speaker grill looks more attractive now. And we'll also take a look at the SIM trays. It's a triple slot, so you get to expand the storage despite putting 2 SIM cards, which is pretty nice. But overall the design is more or less similar. ASUS could have put the usual 5000 mAh battery to give it a better battery backup, but anyways, we'll take a look at how good the backup is on this one in the coming days. The interface is purely stock. You'll see it runs Android 8.1 Oreo out of the box, and there's an October 1 security patch, which is pretty decent. But there are no third-party apps, there are no extra features put on top of it. It's purely stock Android interface, and that is what you will like about this Zenfone Max series. They come with stock Android interface, they come with pure software, and they don't have any mixing done with the pure interface that Google provides. Although it's not really Android One platform, so you may not get the usual Android One upgrades you get on smartphones from Nokia, like the Nokia 5.1 Plus or the 3.1, but it is still a basic, clean stock interface. It's actually Zen UI with no customizations. and that is visible from some changes. For example, beside the notch, you'll see there is the battery percentage and other information put beside. But when I put the phone on silent mode, half of the vibration icon goes underneath the notch. This isn't a problem while you're watching a YouTube video, but in some cases here and there, it's not properly optimized. Although you also get some features like double tap to wake, which will come in handy for a phone of this size. Now in the notch area, you'll see the notification LED is put underneath the earpiece, and beside the earpiece on the left, you'll see there is a front flash, ambient light and proximity sensor, and on the right there is the front camera. Although the notch size is pretty nice, it's not as big as what you get on the Redmi Note 6 Pro, but you'll see the overall bezels are still quite thick, especially the bottom bezel. So the screen to body ratio is not as amazing as what you would get on smartphones like the Realme U1 or the Realme 2. Fingerprint scanner speed on the phone is pretty fast. It's almost as good as the Redmi smartphones beyond this price range like the Redmi Note 6 Pro, and it's quite amazing. Anyways, let's talk about the display now. Zenfone Max 2 has an HD Plus panel, which means the resolution on YouTube videos will be capped at 720p. But despite that, you'll see the color production is pretty nice. Though the brightness levels on the phone are better, and if you compare it with Full HD panels, the color production would be not that great, including the contrast of the smartphone's display. But at this price point for an HD Plus panel and at this screen size, the display is quite nice. Also, you'll see it's an IPS panel, so the viewing angles on the phone are pretty good. In fact, compared to many phones in this price segment, I see them doing well. The display has a 2.5D glass on top, and the touch experience is also very smooth. Now talking about the camera quality, so far in our testing we have seen that the rear camera does a good job. It would take decent photos in good light situations, and you'll see the color production is also pretty nice. But in low light situations, it is not as amazing. Also, the interface used on the phone's camera app is very dated. I think I last saw this interface on the Android KitKat, and it's not very intuitive. Anyways, the front camera on the smartphone also does a great job. The details captured by the phone are surprisingly good, and so is the rest of the color palette. Now what remains to be tested is the performance on the smartphone. The Snapdragon 632 is definitely a better chipset than the Snapdragon 400 series chips, but it may not be as good as the Snapdragon 636 or the 660 that will give you better gaming performance. The interface for now appears to be smooth, but we'll let you know how is the performance on this one and many other aspects, including the battery backup, in our full review. So stay tuned and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching this video. If you want to ask anything, let us know in the comment section below. I'll see you in the next one.